for forcing a government shutdown in this circumstance. And the reason why they're doing it is specifically to protect Americans' health care, their premium payments, and their health care coverage in general. And what's so crazy to me is the overwhelming majority impacted by this will be Republicans.
Dynamic, and given the way that the president has been tweeting memes about.
I hate how this insane things are, yet how normalized it is. Like, it isn't even in the top 5 most insane things over the past month. What are you talking about? This could throw flames on the already looming economic crisis. Yeah, I think one of the most interesting aspects of the full faucet of psychotic behavior coming from this administration has been that, like, things like a violation of the Hatch Act, which in other circumstances would be considered consequential, is not even like the 8th most important thing that they've done today, this past week. It's like, this is directly a violation of pre-existing law. Like, you are not supposed to be campaigning with federal resources. Like, federal government resources are supposed to be for all Americans, right? Not specifically for Americans who voted for the president, for example. You're not also supposed to use the existing federal government resources to campaign. And yet, that's precisely what this administration is doing. And they're doing it with this level of intensity that, I mean, they're doing it so shamelessly, you know? They're doing it like they don't feel like there's going to be another election, if you know what I mean. This is the violations are numerous. It's also, God, I got so many sugary treats as well. Goddamn, can't wait to try it all. But okay, this is Noura. I ordered food from the place that the Uber driver recommended. He was Lebanese himself, and I'm gonna keep it $1.50. I'm gonna be honest with you. This shit look bomb. This shit already looks bomb as hell. Okay. Trump says be gay, do crime. Pretty much. Oh, literally 10 minutes after you left the protest? Oh, so we did miss it. They did rush. They did charge. Now that's a site that I'm familiar with. Akaba. Or whatever the Frenchies were saying. Akaba. Akabre.
Has been, in your words and the words of Democrats, already dismantling healthcare. What makes you think that he will negotiate anything? What makes you think that he and Republicans will cave to you?
Public sentiment. At the end of the day, the public knows that Donald Trump and Republicans have shut the federal government down, and that they're continuing to engage in the chaos and the cruelty and the corruption that we've seen from this administration from day one of the presidency. Again, this is the first week of their shutdown, but we've had months of chaos and cruelty unleashed on the American people. And the American people are paying close attention. And they know that it was Donald Trump and Republicans who have shut the government down. They also know that House Democrats are fighting and Senate Democrats are fighting to protect the health care. The Republican health care crisis has been devastating to people all across the country, devastating to working class Americans, devastating to rural America, to urban America, to the heartland of America, to small town America, and to black and brown communities all across America. We've never seen anything like this.
Once again, he's 100% right, but also 100% Rizless.
In terms of the pain that has been inflicted on the American people by Republicans. House Democrats are simply making the case that we need to cancel the cuts, lower the costs, and save health care.
I'm going to once again show support for my Rizless champion, because in spite of it all, he's holding it down. He's keeping it together. So far, so good. They're doing the right thing. This is a moment to, at least for this issue, stand behind the Democrats. They are right. They are totally in the right. Totally in the right.
Not even a little bit. Not even at all. This is what Republicans love to do. Whenever we fight to elevate the minimum wage, to expand Social Security, to make healthcare better in this country, in order to derail that, Republicans love to dangle this shiny object that says, but what if someone not like you gets it? The fact of the matter is, undocumented people do not and cannot access and be covered by the ACA, Medicaid, Medicare, period. There are dozens of laws in the books that enforce that, and that can be a whole other conversation. However, the fact is the Democratic proposal doesn't change that either. We are trying to change the immediate cliff where the ACA, as well as community health center funding and other kinds of healthcare funding, are about to go off a cliff and hurt millions of people.
Yeah, there's 20 lawmakers who are meeting informally, trying to maybe circumvent their leadership to come up with ideas. But I think Democrats have totally overplayed their hand.
Oh, yeah, totally. Totally overplayed their hand. As in played a hand. Any hand. That's what's going on here. They've played a hand for the first time ever. And that's why so many people are like panicking. So many politicians and media figures are reacting as though you're not supposed to play by these rules. Like, what's going on here? You're not supposed to fight back. You're the Democrats. Why are you fighting back? Totally overplaying your hand here, sir. That's what it is. It's like they are 100% right for forcing a government shutdown in this circumstance. And the reason why they're doing it is specifically to protect Americans' health care, their premium payments, and their health care coverage in general. And what's so crazy to me is the overwhelming majority impacted by this will be Republicans. They are literally, for once, not only playing politics, but are doing it at the behest of decent policy, at least within the confines of what we have. Obviously, the best possible thing would be universal health care or socialized medicine of some sorts. Obviously, we're not going to get that. We're on a defensive posture right now. And in terms of the defensive posture, these are literally Democrat politicians putting their social capital and their political capital on the line to defend the healthcare of right-wing MAGA rural areas, first and foremost. What an insane situation to observe. That's what's so nutty about it. These guys are primarily, obviously this protects everybody, right? Like this initiative hurts everyone. But if we're looking at proportionality, if we're looking at who gets over the most by this, it is unironically Republicans in rural areas. Okay? I cannot stress this enough. We get it, dude. You're woke transgender. Exactly. That's the response from the Republicans overall. It's like, you're just woke transgender, bro. Shut the fuck up.
60 votes, and they have 55, so they need to get those 5 more. So they're, because Rand Paul was the only one on the Republican Party that didn't vote for it, so they need 5 more Democrats to come over. You have those 3 already.
I don't know about y'all, but one thing that frustrates me about this process is it's one thing to have different policy prescriptions and debate the merits. But when one side says this is not in the bill, these things, I mean, I've been going through this morning. It's hard to read through this legislation and figure out.
Yeah, bro, because you're not literate, okay? As is expected from a fucking Fox News host. Let's be real. Yeah. Your job requires you to not be literate. If you were literate, you wouldn't be able to do your job. So yeah, no wonder it's hard to read. Anyway, that's just one dumbass thing aside. I cannot fucking believe that a Fox News host has the audacity to say Democrats are lying about what's in the bill. Dude, the number one message from the Republicans about what the Democrats want out of this is straight up giving $1.5 trillion worth of healthcare to undocumented immigrants. Like, that's what they've been going with. What do you mean? It's just pure projection.
What each side stands for. But when you go on national TV and you say, hey, there's no funding in here for illegal, and you know that's not true, that makes it hard for Americans to decide what is false and what is true and judge it by not only the...
Oh my God, I spoke too soon. he was in the process of lying while simultaneously claiming that the Democrats are lying about what's in the bill and what's not in the bill. He's not so close, chat. He's just fucking lying. This is like when Israel says Hamas is like Nazi Germany. It's like, dog, you are literally Nazi Germany. What the fuck do you mean? Like, you're the guy doing the thing, and you're claiming that the Democrats are doing that thing that you're doing right now to the bill. They didn't send me any fucking cutlery. God damn it. To eat with my hands.
President comments yesterday on our program, but Jackie's report as well. There is clear funding for illegals in this bill that they wanted.
Yeah, well, if you work for a company, you have a budget, and that's exactly what our country has. We have a budget. We just need 7 more weeks of funding. So the Republicans are saying, let's just pass exactly what we passed in March and fund our government for the next 7 weeks. And they're angry at the Democrats because they're saying people are going to go without paychecks. People are going to be furloughed just because they want to throw in this money for illegal immigrants. And they're blaming it on Chuck Schumer and AOC because they say that she will probably be primarying Chuck Schumer in his next election. And he was killed for supporting Republicans in March, and he doesn't want it to happen again. Here are some.
Yeah, this is why Chuck Schumer was wrong to have allowed the previous funding bill to go through without a fight. He was wrong back then, and now he's realized how fucking wrong he was now, only because of the outsized pressure coming from his fucking constituents who at the very least are aware of how deep the cuts are going to be to Medicaid. $800 billion. All of this like, oh, it's because he's worried about getting primaried. Oh, you mean democracy? Oh, you mean that like a politician has now, for one reason or another, decided to listen to his voters? Oh, how shocking of a concept. I know. What the fuck do you mean he's worried about a primary? What are we talking about? They should always be worried about being no longer elected. Like, that's the principle of electoral representation. That's literally what it is fundamentally.
The Democrats, the Republicans, and AOC was approached because she was saying, well, if Republicans have a problem with this, they can come to my office. They can sit down and talk to me. Listen to this.
I saw some Republican members of Congress saying, oh, well, if we have this shutdown, it's because of AOC. Well, if that's the case, my office is open and you are free to walk in and negotiate with me directly.
There was a thought from the Republicans that AOC is directing this, and she said that senators are welcome to go to her office directly. Is she?
Why are you saying such a ridiculous thing? Why are you saying?
Said go to her office directly. Do you think there's any?
She is not directing this. She's wonderful. She's a real team player and the rest of that. You started by saying Republicans saying that she's directing this. She is not. Hakeem Jeffries is, and this takes a lot of experience, a lot of unity from the caucus in terms of.
She also literally said, as far as the Chuck Schumer stuff goes, she straight up said, now is not the time for this conversation. Like, now is the time to defend healthcare for millions of Americans. Like, that's what she said. I saw the fucking interview that she did. I hate the way American politics is conducted because, like, it's basically slop tubers all the way down. Like, people behave like fucking slop tubers. I guess that's just how politics is. But it just sounds so silly to be like, well, clearly she's the leader of the party now. Like, they're trying to fucking create division here amongst the ranks. Why are you causing drama? Is a wild defense towards the media. It's true. They are doing that. They are deliberately fucking. AOC said if Republicans think like I'm responsible for this, they can negotiate with me directly. They can come to my office and negotiate with me directly. This is not about that right now at all. That's the Republican claim. They invented the meta slop tubers and picked it up. Probably. That's true. Oppo has always worked that way. Is this Connor's biggest guess? He had Elon Musk, bro. What are you talking about?
The point.
Connor's going to have Big Gav on. The gruesome Governor Gav. Finally, someone's doing some real politics on this godforsaken platform.
View, and that's what this is. She's an articulate spokesperson for her point of view.
For her point of view.
She doesn't like the premise. But it's what.
See? Once again, more drama. You reply to it, and then they derive more drama out of it. Oh, the girlies are fighting.
AOC said, so you can keep yelling at the reporter or the anchor.
Yeah.
It's what AOC said.
That's right. She was quoting AOC, but we were reacting to this because she's saying she is not directing this. I like her. She's amazing. But she's not in charge, but I like her.
Yeah.
It's Hakeem Jeffries. She is not directing this. This takes a lot of experience.
Right, what she doesn't like, because she is the speaker emeritus.
Right,
I mean, I don't know. They should probably remove that. But she likes being in a position of power. But AOC is 100% right. The party is being governed by her ideology right now. And honestly, I don't know why we're inviting the leaders.
Bro, that's so funny. Like, yeah, they think positioning this as like, positioning the government shutdown around AOC, they think is going to be a successful way to undermine it. They're trying to draw internal conflict from the party as well in an effort to tamper with messaging discipline. They're hoping that the Democrats will start panicking because they also are under the false notion that like AOC is actually an incredibly unpopular figure. Except if you're Nancy Pelosi, you know you are the least popular figure when you were in office. Like AOC is unpopular nationally, sure, but the least popular figure in office was Nancy Pelosi because she was the leader of the Democrats. That's just how it is. Meanwhile, AOC being presented as the leader of the Democrats is actually going to boost the party's profile. The reason why is because AOC is not as unpopular as stupid media figures think she is. Yes, Republicans hate her. Yes, this plays a role in her approval rating. But she is nowhere near as unpopular as the way that these guys present her as. And especially if she has more leadership roles or more time in the spotlight and can potentially exhibit this Bernie did for years. I think if she could show herself as a strong figure for progressive politics, maybe even some radical policies, she could boost her media profile spectacularly. Ultimately, it's not about one person's charisma, even though charisma plays a role in this, and entirely about the policies. That's it.
And Schumer said, we should just cut to the chase. Go straight to AOC and have the debate with her about what's in the bill, not going back and forth with Schumer. Schumer is being influenced by AOC right now because he knows the right thing to do.
I love the fact that you have the vice president out there first and leadership in the Senate and the House, because the president, if you noticed him a couple of days ago, he's announcing he's going after child cancer with AI. He's talking about getting your health care bills knocked down. He's dealing with the military and their new, with Pfizer. He's dealing with the new military, so he can continue to govern, and he lets everybody else get into the mud. And you can stay in the mud. Let the president be the president. I think it's a great, way to approach it.
Don't you think, Brian, when you watch Nancy Pelosi, that's the problem with the Democratic Party.
100%.
They're walking a fine line. She wants to be the establishment in the Democratic Party. I was in charge. Now it's Hakeem Jeffries. I passed the torch to him.
Wait. So there is a difference. For as many years as I've been alive, they say Nancy Pelosi is a fucking communist. All of a sudden, now you have to present like drama within the ranks. You have to say, well, Nancy Pelosi is an establishment Democrat. She's more moderate. I thought she was a socialist communist. What happened? All of a sudden, now AOC is the socialist communist and Nancy Pelosi is the reasonable moderate? Wow, what a change of pace from the Fox News Republicans here. If you find this to be sincere in any way, shape, or form, by the way, I got a bridge to sell you. They're only doing this because there is a left flank of the party and it's gaining momentum. It's gaining popularity. That's why.
AOC, we appreciate her. We're trying to appease all of the squad, but they're not really in charge.
Do you remember, Ainsley, I know you do, why Joe Biden left? It was Nancy Pelosi that finally had to step up, sound off, because nobody else, including Barack Obama and Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, would say a word. So she finally had to take control again.
She and George Clooney.
Right. And so, George Clooney. And because Barack Obama didn't want to do it. So she had to do it again, and she might have to step forward here. But she has to realize like Ted Cruz in 2013, like the Freedom Caucus in the past. You may agree with their premise, but they don't have the leverage.
That's right.
The leverage is on the right now.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here.
I don't know if you want to take ownership over all this stuff, man. I really don't. Like, these guys are talking about a steaming pile of shit, okay? They're pointing to a steaming pile of shit, just straight up hot garbage, and going, look at how awesome this is. We control all of this. I mean, the economy is dusted, okay? It's busted and dusted. Cost of living crisis is completely out of control. No solutions whatsoever. The only thing that this administration is invested in doing is like, is using a militarized police force against like neighbors. Can you explain why Senate Republicans don't use the nuclear option, fund the government with a simple majority with a rule change, or is that not an option here? I don't think that that's I don't think that that's up for discussion as of now. I don't even know how they would be able to do that rule change, but
I was walking here in Washington, D.C., and who did I bump into? One of my favorite members of the United States Congress, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
One of my favorite senators.
All right. Anyhow, as everybody knows, we are now in a government shutdown. Republicans are attacking Alexandria, attacking me. Why didn't you vote for this clean CR to keep the government open?
Well, there's nothing clean about it. This is one of the dirtiest tricks that is being pulled on the American people right now. Starting today, October 1st, and throughout the rest of the month, Americans across this country are going to start getting notifications that their insurance premiums are up to doubling. We're talking about...
Say that again.
Your insurance, your monthly insurance...
It's going to triple in some cases. Isn't AOC bought by AIPAC? What the fuck are you guys talking about, dude? Oh my God. Where do you get this information from? Do you guys just like live in fucking... What? Like maybe you could say like potentially J Street or something, but no, she's not fucking AIPAC at all. Bernie's gotten J Street donations. Bernie has spoken to J Street. Bernie is a liberal Zionist. AOC is somewhere in between. I don't think she is like as avowed an anti-Zionist as like Rashida Tlaib is. Neither of these politicians are AIPAC politicians. And no, she didn't just have like a bad vote on the Marjorie Taylor Greene provision or even turn around and defend it. That's not the only reason. AOC, the expectation for AOC is that she is supposed to be one of the leaders of the anti-Zionist movement, anti-Israel sentiment. She's not. She should be, but she's not. But it's not because she's AIPAC. But AIPAC is a catch-all term, an umbrella term that people use, sometimes falsely, to describe being in the pocket of the Israel lobby. Also, Hakeem Jeffries is an AIPAC politician. And I'm fucking defending Hakeem Jeffries here. Because this issue is not pertinent to the other thing that we're talking about. If a Democratic politician is doing the right thing on an issue, you have to fucking acknowledge it. He recently got endorsed by J Street. You mean Hakeem Jeffries? Anyway, just lock in for now, okay? We're going to talk about Palestine again. I was just at a fucking Palestine protest, man. Obviously, this is not this is an issue that's important to me. God damn. Motherfuckers will be like, we'll talk about the government shutdown. And motherfuckers will be like, well, you know, every Democrat that's messaging on this is like still an AIPAC stooge or some shit. It's like, calm down, please.
Premiums are going to double for millions of people across the country.
At a time when we are already paying, by far, the highest prices in the world for healthcare at a time when people can't afford it right now. So what happens?
That means people getting bankrupt over chemotherapy, people going to the pharmacy and not being able to get their insulin. And frankly, it means a lot of Americans are going to be in danger. And Republicans want us to rubber stamp that. So what are we going to say to that, Bernie?
Well, I'll tell you, it's not only be in danger. Let's be clear. And I'm not, doesn't make me happy to have to say this, but there have been studies out there that when you combine doubling premiums for the ACA and then throwing 15 million people off of Medicaid and the ACA, the result is, according to studies at Yale and the University of Pennsylvania, 50,000 low-income, working-class Americans will die every single year. All right? If you don't have the money to go to a doctor and you're sick, you die. And that's what we're looking at. That's what this clean bill is about.
And so Republicans want us to rubber stamp that. And we're saying no. We need to stand up for the American people.
That's it. It's good, clean, wholesome messaging. They could go even harder in the paint and start talking about how Republicans want to kill the poor. That's what I would do, because that's what this is about. I hate the game that we play all the time. And by we, I mean those on the left. And yes, this even includes like those on the left flank of politics in this country. So the Democrats as well, where Republicans can literally be like, Democrats want undocumented migration to flow into the country so that every single immigrant can come to your house, break down your door, and rape your fucking daughter to death. And then they'll turn around and be like, what do you mean? I'm just talking about policy. Meanwhile, Democrats don't fucking turn around and say, Republicans basically want to kill you if you're poor. That's what it is. That is a more honest assessment of Republican policy, especially as it pertains to cutting funding for Medicaid. That's what it is. They want poor people to fucking die. Republicans want poor people to not be able to pay for healthcare and fucking die. And here we are having a conversation about whose rhetoric is violent. It is ridiculous. Republicans do not want you to realize, if you are a Republican, they do not want you to realize that they cut your healthcare by $800 billion so they could give tax cuts to the super wealthy. Understand this. They cut your healthcare, your Medicaid, by $800 billion so they could at least like put a dent in the whopping tax cuts that they pushed for the super wealthy in this country. Okay? This is going to destroy rural hospitals. It's going to destroy your grandparents' chances of continuing long-term care in nursing homes, because long-term care is not covered by Medicare. It's covered by Medicaid. I cannot understand how people are not more overt with this. They should have been from the start. And that's precisely what the Democrats are trying to stop here to the best of their fucking ability, or at least make a bigger deal out of this. My fear now is that they're just going to only do this because they want to highlight this before the midterms, because they know that the cuts aren't coming until after the midterms, because Republicans are demons like that. That's the other side of the story, by the way. Republicans are not even openly cutting before the midterms so that they don't even suffer politically from this. Why didn't they stop the big, beautiful bill? There was no way to stop it. They couldn't stop it. They should have already had this exact same fight a couple months prior when there was another budget consideration. Now the Republicans are using the previous concessions that Chuck Schumer offered to continue funding the government against them. Now they're saying, oh, what now, Chuck? You didn't speak like this a couple months ago, Chuck. What's up? Is it because you're scared of AOC? Like, that's what they're saying. But he should have done it back then.
We need to stand up for our healthcare system. And if they want our votes, they protecting every American and making sure that we can do what we can to continue to make healthcare accessible, affordable, as we work to make it a human right for all.
Right. So let me just back that up. Remember, right now, our healthcare system is broken. Right now, we're the only major country on earth not to guarantee healthcare to all people. And these guys want to make it even worse. We're not going to let that happen.
No, we're not.
Thank you.
Onward.